So fans can follow you up to Edinburgh, I hear, very soon.
Yes, we open on Wednesday in a show called Radioactive, which originally we did in Edinburgh about 900 years ago.
Yeah, about 30 years.
It was, yeah, someone said it was 32 years. That was when we last did it. When we first did it was 1979, so that's even longer ago.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
And Radioactive clearly was on the radio, and it's a sort of send-up of local radio, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it sort of started as a send-up of local radio, then it became a kind of parody of every kind of TV show and radio show on, you know, that anyone could possibly have watched. So, so yes, what we're doing is a reenactment of two radio recordings that we wrote in 1984, I think.
Yeah, with the original cast.
With the original cast, apart from one who's sadly not with us any longer, which is Geoffrey Perkins, who sadly died about 7-8 years ago. So
yeah, Geoffrey was also responsible for Have I Got News for You, wasn't he? For that actually being on air in the... Didn't he develop it?
Well, that wasn't one of his, but he was responsible for virtually every other comedy show that's ever been on TV. So yes, Spitting Image and Father Ted and Catherine Tate and Harry and Paul. Yeah, loads and loads of shows.
Yeah.
He had the kind of Midas touch.
Yeah. And I know, because I did love Waterloo Road. And,
Did
did you enjoy working on that?
Yes. I mean, it was quite hard work. It was kind of relentless, and you were shooting 4 shows at once. So it was quite confusing as to which episode you were in at any given moment. But
you didn't look confused.
There was a lot of acting required.
Yeah.
Most of the actors were baffled at most moments as to what they were supposed to be doing.
But it was while you were in Glasgow shooting that you thought, Edinburgh.
Yes.
It would be nice to come back.
Yeah, well, I hadn't been to the festival for years and years. So I popped over, as you do when you're in Glasgow, because it's only half an hour away. And just thought, well, why haven't I? Because there's so much fun and there's so much going on. And of course now it's 200 times the size that it was in my day. So I went to see the show that was a reenactment of Tony Hancock radio shows. It was called The Missing Hancocks.
I think Neil Pearson was on talking about that
right.
last year, in fact.
Yes, he was producing it. And I literally stole his idea, because I thought, well, this is what we spent most of the 1980s doing, so why don't we try out our show? So that's sort of what we're doing.
And Richard Wilson, I think, your dear old mate, Richard Wilson,
yes,
who we all love as Victor Meldrew, he, I believe, is going to be in Edinburgh at the same time as you.
Well, strangely, it's quite a similar idea that he's had, which is to reenact an episode of One Foot in the Grave. So it was an episode that obviously I wasn't in, or no one else is in. In fact,
you weren't available for him.
I was probably doing Benidorm. And he's the only person in it, so it was a one-man show, one-man episode. And so he's doing that. I'm now plugging his show. Why am I doing that?
No, because he's godfather to your son, for goodness sake.
Yes, good research.
Yes.
Yeah, and so he's doing his show for half an hour, and then he does a Q&A session afterwards. So
that'll be good fun.
Yeah.
Will you nip in there, do you think?
Well, I think we were on at rival times, so I shouldn't be talking about it. Don't go and see his show.
All right, but do go and see Radioactive.
Definitely, yes.
Dates?
Will be from the 3rd until the 28th of August at the Pleasance Theatre.
Pleasance, all right. Really very pleasant to see you
Well,
this morning,
that's an
Angus.
excellent link, by the way.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
you
thought
should
it
do
was.
more of this.
Yeah, maybe not.
If you'd like to see even more great guests, then click here. There are plenty more fantastic interviews to come, so make sure that you subscribe.
So you had foresight, clearly.
Yes. I should stop saying we looked out, and I should try and reframe it as that we were just so genius. We knew it was going to happen.
You saw
it was very
coming.
Clever, yeah.